What's up, guys? Welcome back to the garage for episode 6 of the Yamaha XS1100 Brat build. Today we're going to take on a project that I'm a little nervous about because I've never done this before, and kind of excited, kind of nervous about it. We're going to hop into it. What we're going to do is disassemble these forks. And I'm disassembling them because I got oil leaking out. The seals are no good, so got to take them apart and take the seals out. I've never done this job before on a bike. But I've watched plenty of videos, done my research, studied these particular forks pretty heavily, and I'm ready to take the challenge. This could be the project that breaks me, but we'll get through it. I'll figure it out. So it's going to be a bench day. I got everything here up on my bench, and we're just going to jump right into it and try and get these all apart and figure out what size the dust seals are inside. I have not ordered new ones, not dust seals, actually, just the seals, the fork seals. I don't know the size of these. I've never, I tried to do some research online, but it seems like there's mixed opinions on which size to buy. So I just want to get these out and see. There should be a stamp on it showing the correct size, so that way I can order the proper ones and then hopefully get them within a week and reassemble everything and get them all back together. So that's what we're going to work on today. Now, I already kind of took a look at this one, and there's a drain plug here, and that's where you drain the oil out. I don't know if you can see it. Oh, I'm spilling oil already, but it's right there. I had to pull this one out and get it on my own because while I was looking at it before I started filming, I noticed that the little screw was completely stripped. I don't know if I can get in there and show you that, but yeah, it's completely stripped. So I had to drill it out, and using my trusty Irwin spiral flute removal extractor set, I was able to get that screw out. So I'm gonna have to order a new one of those screws, but at least we got it open so we can drain the oil out. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to film this one in full time lapse. I might just kind of bring you guys in and show you what I'm doing as I'm working on it. I think that'll be the best way. So let's do this. All right, so here we are at my bench, and as you can see, I'd already pulled out the drain plug on that, and you can see how stripped out that was. Well, I mean, after I drilled it out, of course, but the head was completely just gone anyway, so I had no choice there. Should be a copper washer here, but I'm not seeing one, which leads me to believe that maybe they've already done this job a long time ago, which is a good sign. At least it means that they did try and take care of the bike back then. But again, I don't see one, so I'm going to have to add a copper washer because according to my parts diagram here, it should be a drain plug gasket, aka copper washer. So yeah, we got that one open, and everything's on my bench here. This is the drill I used with the extractor set to get that apart. There's the other fork and a couple screwdrivers. So now what we're going to have to do, I don't know how I'm going to do this, but we're going to just get this oil out of this guy. And you can see it's spilling out there. Let me focus. I have to compress this. You know, I think I am going to do this in time lapse. There's no way for me to hold the camera and do this at the same time. But basically we're going to compress this until all that oil comes out. And yeah. Alright, so everything's disassembled now with the forks. Some bad news when I was getting in here. Not the worst news, but these have definitely been serviced before. When I got to the dust seal, it literally just popped right out, which makes me think that it's the wrong size. It was not tight, and these are known to be a pain to get out. And you can tell they're a pain to get out because somebody has already removed one once before, as you can see by their claw marks left behind. And worse than that is they pitted the sidewall, which could be the reason I was getting leaks. So these pits were a lot worse a few minutes ago. I just took a little emery cloth and tried to smooth them out because they were literally gouges with like metal sticking off of them, digging into the seal that was in there, which is this old seal. I'm hoping with the emery cloth I smoothed out the bore a little bit. There's still pits in there, but if I get the right seal, it should still seal it. On the plus side, these are not inverted forks, so the fluid sits low because of gravity. So you never really get too much escaping. On inverted forks, this could be a disaster. That being said, I gotta figure out what's the right size seal, because this is definitely aftermarket. I'm hoping this one is unmolested and hasn't been taken apart already. Clearly this one had been played with before. This bolt was stripped as we saw. Now I see the gouges. There's these two spacers there, which according to my chart there should only be one, so which leads me to believe this was too short and they added another spacer in there, or too thin rather. So that's a little depressing, so I'm hoping when I take that one apart I'll get a correct size on the seal, and better news than this one. Again, I should be able to fix all this. It's always annoying when people do a job and don't do it right or half-ass it. I do want to clean this up too while it's apart, so I'm probably going to take the wire wheel to it off camera and get it all polished up, because I'm going to be painting these black as well. But yeah, everything else looks good. The fork tubes are nice, chrome's in good condition, snap ring's good, washers are okay even though there's only supposed to be one. This is all good, springs are good. If you probably saw in the thing, I was using a broomstick. This Allen bolt sits at the bottom of the forks, and when you get everything apart and you start trying to undo it so you can get the fork tube out of the lower fork, this will just start spinning in there as you're unscrewing the Allen bolt. This will spin. So a little trick you can do is jam a broomstick in the fork the other side, and then put some vice grips on that broomstick, you can see right here, and then you can use your leg to step on the vice grip so the broom handle doesn't spin, and use the broom handle to hold pressure on that damper while you undo the bolt. That's what I did to get this one apart, and it worked like a charm. Luckily this wasn't too tight or anything, so we're in good shape. Spring's good, everything else looks good, so just gotta keep trying to figure out what size seal goes in there. I'm just gonna keep doing research until I get it. Or if anybody really knows, please drop a comment below. That'll be helpful. So now let's take apart that one. Alright, so fork number 2 has gotten me stuck. Try my little broomstick method to get this Allen out, and it is not working. I'm not putting enough pressure or whatever. I can hear it's still just spinning in there and just ripping apart at the top of my broomstick. So I'm gonna have to get an impact gun, I think in an 8mm extension or whatever, to break that loose. Hopefully with the impact gun it'll give it enough hammering force to pop that loose. So we're stuck on that. Other bad news on this fork, we have this piece, but that piece is completely broken off. I've never seen that before. I mean, it was like that, so I don't know if it's a big issue or not. I'm gonna try and see if I can find one of these on eBay somewhere used for cheap. If not, we'll just have to reuse this, and hopefully it should be all right. I've never seen that before, so this is how it should look. Just one solid piece, and as you can see, that whole ring just cracked right off. Not sure how that can happen, but there it is. So I'm stuck on this. I'm gonna have to either go buy an impact gun or see if my buddy's got one. Hopefully we can break that loose and take it apart, figure out that seal. So these are, I mean, the things you run into when working on these projects. You get stuck on some stuff. So I'm gonna call this video here, and you know, just try and figure it out where to go from here. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. If you have any tips, comments, concerns, drop them below. Hit that like button. Hit subscribe. This build will continue no matter what problems I come across. Once I get these wheels, forks, front end done too, we'll be in good shape. Then, you know, it's the fun stuff, cutting the frame, figuring it out, getting new shocks, stuff like that. I just need to get this front end all done and where I want it so I can put it back on the bike and see how I want to stance everything. So that's where we're at now, and hope you're enjoying this and learning something. Maybe you got the same bike and this video will help you out. But again, thanks for watching, subscribe and like. Peace.